Good evening, guys. Happy Easter. I hope you're all having a brilliant weekend. You okay there, love?
No, I'm out of breath. We were just like watching the clock, 30 seconds to go. And it was like, we've got no mic. So we had to run. But we're here now. Mic is on. Hopefully you can hear us. Did we plug it in?
Can you guys hear us? Quick thumbs up.
Like the video if you can hear us. We know they can hear us.
We got lots on.
Yeah, we have got lots on. Tell them what we've got on, Lozzie.
Okay. We are going to Alton Towers for a few days.
Yeah.
Should be fun. We have the 2 older kids' birthdays coming up, so we're taking them to Alton Towers.
They're going to be 13.
Thank you very much for the Easter messages, guys. Hope you've all had a brilliant day yourselves. I'm kind of glad Easter's over.
Because of all the chocolate.
Yeah. I'm trying to lose weight, and then people buy me Easter eggs, and I have a bad habit of eating them.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying what we're up to.
Yeah, we're going to Alton Towers, which will be fun to see if I can fit on any rides.
Yeah.
I'll probably just be stood waiting for you guys.
Yeah.
We get back Tuesday night.
Evening, yeah.
Then Wednesday morning, we fly to the States for Clash on the Coast.
Yes.
Which is going to be fun. Lots of amazing athletes competing out there. It's going to be really good to see.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go last year, obviously with COVID and stuff, we couldn't get over there. This year I'm looking forward to it. A few of my friends are competing, a few of my clients are competing. So it's going to be good.
It will be good.
And I'm doing the commentating for ESPN and for the live stream. I'm not 100% sure where the live stream is going to be yet. Once we know that, check out our Instagram pages. We will post that up.
There's an important
announcement.
Liz looks really brown. It's because I had a spray tan earlier today, ready for Clash. Because I just don't tan, do I, Lozzie?
You're going straight for the elephant in the room.
Yeah, well, we need to get this out of the way. Yes, I'm very brown today because this is spray tan day. It will fade a little bit. Spray tan Lizzie.
Liz is the only person that goes somewhere hot and is browner when she gets there than when she leaves. Is that fair?
That's very fair. But as am I, very fair.
You are very fair.
Yeah, it's just healthier for me to get a spray tan and then chuck on the factor 50 than it is for me to try and get an actual tan. So here we are. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. All the love to Loz and Liz. Bless you. Thank you guys for the content. Big question is, when do we see Loz with the Anthony Furman handlebar moustache?
Well, he's wanting me to wear one of his traditional Hawaiian shirts.
He was trying to talk you into it, wasn't he?
He was trying to talk me into the handlebar as well. I don't think Auntie Liz is going to allow that to happen.
Not a good look. I've got a picture of you somewhere with a handlebar moustache.
I was messing around.
Yeah. I will post it on my Instagram stories later. I will. I'll find it.
Don't.
Yeah, keep an eye on my Instagram stories. It's going up.
Only if we get over 1,000 likes on this video.
No, it's going up regardless. Don't worry about him. It's going up.
Well, regardless of that, guys, still go and like the video. It helps, apparently.
Happy Easter to you too, Stu. We've had a nice weekend, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's been lovely weather as well.
The weather's been really good this week. Yeah, this weekend. It's been lovely.
Typical Brits. It's all we really talk and care about, isn't it?
Went to see your mum, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Had a nice weekend.
Yes. Frederick, hello, Frederick. Thank you so much for the super chat. Happy Easter. And I've always been wanting to ask and keep forgetting, Liz, what equipment and software do you use? So equipment, recording wise, I film everything on a Canon M6 Mark II and nearly everything with a 24 to, so it's a Canon lens, 24 to 70 mil, 2.8 USM. Do you know what? I
don't have a clue.
I edit on Final Cut Pro. Someone really hurt my feelings inadvertently the other day. They commented on a video. So sometimes, even though I make a lovely video, or I try, it doesn't always, like, something goes wrong with YouTube and you'll only ever get it in like 760, or, you know, the resolution is it's not all there.
Instead
it doesn't
1080 or something.
Yeah, you can't watch it in high definition. And someone commented saying, you should consider buying a better camera so you can film in 1080. And I was thinking, but yes. And when I'm out and about, we use the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus. And yeah, my cat's crying, so sorry, I'm going to have to leave you. Let her in.
Every evening she comes down.
She loves the lives.
Once the kids go to sleep, she comes down.
She's like, Mummy. And there we go.
Matej is just here to feel weak in the gym again.
Ah.
That's not going to happen with Liz around.
No. If anyone should feel weak, it's me.
What's this one?
Loz, what was that competition where you, Zadrunas, Thor, and Christoph were in those silver fancy costumes in
I shouldn't
China?
have clicked on this one, should I?
Was it Strongman Champions League?
Yes, it was a Strongman Champions League contest in China. Been to China 4 times, and they always make us do stupid stuff.
Yeah. You had to ride in a chariot. Was that the team competition, the silver suits?
No, the year after was the team one with the other suits.
They do it big in China, don't they?
They do.
It was watched by millions of people as well. That picture's never going away. I'll also post that to my Instagram stories later. So what have we got? Handlebar and silver suit. And it's
you guys are killing me
trying
already.
To get more people onto my Insta. Liz is looking.
What's your Insta? Go and tell them, and then you can.
Mrs. Shahlaei, obviously, or spat. Mrs._Shahlaei. Liz is looking in holiday mode. Thank you. If you only just joined us, I have had a tan today. But it's been lovely weather down here, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
Are you going to be in control of clicking on comments?
Only if you want me to.
Not really. How did Mark Felix qualify for Worlds? You can answer that.
How did Mark Felix qualify for Worlds?
Has he? Bear in mind, it's his birthday today.
Yeah, Mark Felix, is he 56
56th birthday.
56 years old, Mark Felix is. He is an absolute living legend of strongman. Now, we can have the debate of whether that's enough to be invited to World's Strongest Man.
He hasn't qualified through the only means, which is top 3 at Giants Live. To be fair, quite a few people haven't qualified through that means.
Well, only a few people have qualified through that means.
And then there's other people like the past champions like Martins.
I openly say I think it should be a fairer system for qualification. Yeah, I've said that before, and you know I stand by it. But I understand why Mark gets a call up. And it's really difficult when you're talking about one of your best friends. There's someone that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I don't genuinely think Mark deserves to go, but I still think he'll do well.
And I think it'd be a sad day when he does stop going as well.
Yeah, he's got such great experience at World, and Mark is such a laid-back character that he'll still perform well. And he's one of those guys with certain events he's extremely good at.
Events. Here's a good quick question. Loz, would you rather be 8 foot or 4 foot?
Oh, 8 foot. Who wants to be 4 foot?
8 foot's pretty tall.
I know, but 4 foot is pretty short.
Tiny, yeah. You definitely shouldn't be 4 foot, yeah.
I'd rather be 6'2", which I am, but 8 foot over 4 foot, I think for sure.
Austin Berry, thank you so much for the super chat. How many pro strongmen have powerlifting backgrounds, and is it an advantage?
It's certainly an advantage. I actually think it's a good route to go down sometimes to develop base level strength. Before you see some people, they sort of just want to jump into strongman almost too quickly, and they haven't developed real gym strength. And it's funny with strongman because there's so many factors, and gym strength doesn't always mean you're going to be a great strongman. Particularly years ago, I think now you have to have that gym strength as well as that natural athletic ability. But there's a lot of guys that come from powerlifting that don't transition well, and there's other guys that do. And likewise, there's some strongmen that are really good at powerlifting when they try it, and others that aren't so good. But it's not going to do you any harm at all doing powerlifting before you get into strongman.
Here we go. And to answer the question, have many.
Zadrunas came from powerlifting. Yeah. Shane Flowers, who's a newer guy, he came from powerlifting. A lot of
Luke Richardson also.
Luke Richardson, great powerlifter. There's certainly a good few. There's a lot that have never. Bill Kazma. It was more common back in those days because it wasn't. Strongman was just a one-off thing, whereas now people train just for strongman. And there's plenty of strongmen that have tried powerlifting. I mean, I did a little bit of powerlifting through my career, but it was always just a thing on the side and a bit of fun. I never trained for long periods of time for powerlifting. It was like, oh, look, there's a powerlifting.
You never stopped for strongman training, did you?
Not at all. I think if I focused on powerlifting, I could have been decent. Particularly in the squat and deadlift department, not so much bench, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Indeed. What is this? I didn't know Right Said Fred was still around. Are we talking about your head or something else?
Well, I think we'll let these guys clarify.
These are the Mitchell brothers. Have you gone back blonde again? No, I've just not dyed it and it's fading.
It's darker at the top, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a balayage, so it's dark at the top. And then this is all just faded out now. But I really like this colour. I think it suits me.
You look lovely.
Thank you so much. Me and the brothers. Any ideas? Here we go, Alex. Any ideas when we might find out officially about events? They're dragging their heels a little. Worlds, if you're watching, I know you won't mind me saying, but they're a bit behind. I'm honest with them. I tell them what I think.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have to.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Sometimes they don't like what we say. Sometimes they do.
And sometimes they do. Yeah. No, we have a good working relationship with Worlds. And I had an email just the other day. Oh, sorry, the problem is with Worlds, there's so many elements to it. There's so many people involved. Like, it's hundreds of people, isn't it? You've got, the TV people, the events people, I don't know, the people that we don't even think about or know about.
There's normally, there's the social media team, there's the production team, there's the event kind of organizers team, there's equipment team. So there's lots of people working together, and sometimes communication between all of them is a little slow. And
I guess it just slows everything down a little bit.
Yeah.
Myself on. This is nice. Look, Lazo. Here we go. Tulsi, Loz just want to say thanks for the nutritionist story post you done last week. I found myself one to help from the list and really looking forward to getting started. That's nice, isn't it?
Excellent. That's brilliant. I'm working with a new nutritionist.
Yes, you are, aren't you?
Although I have said the next few weeks are going to be a bit tricky.
It's so hard when we travel, isn't it?
It is.
Especially to America. Oh my God, the food's so good. Talal, thank you so much for the super chat. What do you think about Brian's chances this year, Lozzie?
I think Brian is going to be a threat. He's looking good in his training. He's obviously a 4-time winner of World's Strongest Man. Just last year, he placed second. So he's definitely going to be a threat. I mean, what we were saying the other day, Brian has made the final every year since 2009. And he's won his group every year since 2009. That's an incredible record. He's very experienced at World's Strongest Man. I don't personally think Brian's going to win, but you can never count him out. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did win.
No, yeah, agreed. This has been asked a couple of times. Could you do a podcast with the people organising Strongman Champions League?
So I've been talking to the organisers of Strongman Champions League, and the only reason we don't do too many posts about them, I mean, they did send us their calendar for this year, so we were looking at doing a post for that, but we just happened to be really busy.
Yeah.
They just haven't given us much information. I want to sort of, if we can know the lineups, know the events, it makes a big difference rather than
get some more details.
If all we've got to bring you guys is Strongman Champions League in Norway this weekend.
Yeah.
And then that's all you know. Yeah. It's kind of a boring video.
It was a pretty pointless effort.
Yeah, we're just hoping that they'll start using us a bit more to give us a bit more information, and then it's easier to do a video and help promote the shows.
Question from Derek. Hi, Loz and Liz. Hi, Derek. Were you happy with your tattooed and strong powerlifting comp performance? It looks like you smashed all of your lifts.
Happy is a stretch. I was happy for where I'm at. It's the lowest total I've ever done in a push-pull. So I'm always comparing myself to what I used to do, and I'm trying to get much better at not doing that. But my main goal was drop 30 kilos, which I did. Ended up competing in a lighter weight class, and I'm feeling a lot better, a lot fitter. My strength is down. And I do think I can be a bit stronger, but my goal is to stay under the 140 kilo weight class now. I plan on dropping my weight a bit more, trying to reduce a bit more body fat. So I still need to stay in a calorie deficit for now. Eventually, I want to be able to go into calorie surplus and train for an under 140 kilo.
I thought you were going to say under 105.
No. I don't think I'll ever be under 105. God. I may eventually try an under 125. I think that would be the limit.
Yeah, that would have to be the limit.
Yeah, and then I'd be looking at CrossFit.
Christ.
But my focus right now is to still lose some more body fat. I tend to hold most of my fat around my stomach, so I'm quite happy with how my shoulders and arms and back are looking, and my legs. I have no interest in bodybuilding, so if bodybuilders are watching, say, no, you're fat, I know I'm fat for bodybuilding. It's fine. I've got no interest in doing it. I just want to feel fitter in myself and just feel like I look better. So that's my training goals. And then I'm looking at doing an arm wrestling competition, some grip competitions, and eventually I want to do a full powerlifting meet. I'm just rehabbing my ankle and my knee a little bit at the moment, so my squat is way down, but I have started squatting again.
There we go. Yeah, look, people reminding you of a couple of other people that came from powerlifting.
Nick Best,
Nick
yes, he did.
Best,
Nick
Rhiannon.
Best.
Rhiannon.
Yeah.
There
I
we
think
go.
Rhiannon's just done powerlifting and strongman all at the same time. I mean, I know she was a champion at like 18, but she just does everything.
Rhiannon is such a beast, isn't she? Christ.
She is.
She scares me. Hi, Rhiannon, if you're watching. Heidi. Hello, Heidi. Why is it every time you guys come to the US, I can't come to the show? Why is
You're just
it,
trying to
Lozo?
avoid us, Heidi. That's as simple as that. It's what it looks like now, doesn't it?
Have you met her in person?
I have. She was at World's Strongest Man 2019, where I got injured.
Oh.
So we didn't really get to meet properly.
Oh, that's a shame.
But I train Heidi.
Yes.
And she's lovely.
April, if you meant to send a super chat, April, we cannot see it. So please comment. Ah, here it is. Hold on. I found you. There we go. Loz and Liz, if you had one piece of advice to women starting out in Strongman or Strongwoman, what would it be? Thank you.
What would your advice be to women?
My advice to a woman starting out: don't give a shit what anyone thinks about you, would be my advice. I don't say that from an athlete's perspective, obviously, because I'm not an athlete, but I do say that from the perspective of someone that is somewhat in the public eye in a very niche kind of way.
And you know so many of these ladies now that compete.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
Yeah.
They really are.
They are lovely.
I think this covers men and women.
Mm.
And most people in the fitness industry, to be quite honest.
So I shouldn't have sworn in my answer. But
that's fine. We'll allow it.
Speaking from the heart.
This is kind of like my theory with most of us that compete in, well, just in
iron sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all a bunch of messed up individuals, a little bit tapped in the head, a little bit of the outsider type.
Yeah.
People.
Not necessarily the wives, though.
Well, I just think we've all got personal issues and, things that reasons we come into the sport.
Yeah.
Maybe for some of us is to lose weight and try and feel better about yourself, to get fitter, whatever it might be. We've all got different reasons we do stuff. And I think it's a fairly nice community.
Oh, it's a lovely community. It is.
But there's people on the outside that look in and comment and stuff, and it can be quite mean.
Yeah. Especially about the women as well, which is what I mean. Do not care. Like, if someone is trying to bring you down, there's something wrong with that person, and there's nothing wrong with you. So just don't even.
But I've had loads of comments over the years.
I have too on this channel.
Yeah, but
that's all right. I just hide them all.
Do you know what? That's the best thing to do.
Yeah,
it's the best advice I can give.
Don't give them any of your energy.
We try and stay quite positive.
Yeah,
we absolutely love all our hardcore fans that are, followers, whatever. I don't like using the word fans sometimes, but
no, it's embarrassing.
It's like we've got a nice community on here.
Yeah,
everyone loves Strongman. It's when you get like a viral video that goes
and
then you just
beyond
get
the world of Strongman, and then suddenly you got all these people that don't know who you are or what you're about, and they're looking at you and judging you and commenting on you. But
you can't really worry about what these people think.
No.
If you're doing it, do it for yourself, enjoy it, and focus on your own personal progress. This is something as well I give a lot of athletes advice on. Don't look at other people, focus on you getting better. If you're getting better and you're enjoying it, that's the key. It's very easy to get drawn into, I've got to be the best. And then suddenly you're not enjoying it anymore. Yeah. And, you put pressure on yourself that's just unnecessary. And then you're hating it. It's important to enjoy what you do. Like, I've retired from Strongman high level, but I will always train because I love training. And I just find myself different things to focus on.
Right. We're falling way behind now. Ricky, thank you so much for the super chat, Ricky. With Larry Wheels getting back into Strongman, do you think he'll host Strongman events like he did for arm wrestling with King at the Table?
Well, Larry would be the person you'd have to ask for that.
Yeah, well, first off, hosting an arm wrestling event is so much easier than a Strongman event.
Yeah, it is. And I can say that confidently because the people that work with Larry, Core Sports, also do strongman competitions, and I know from talking to them how much easier an arm wrestling event is to put on than a strongman contest.
Yeah,
an arm wrestling event, you just need a fairly small room and a table, and some cameras. there's a lot more to it with strongman shows.
I think it would be amazing if Larry did, though, because he's got such a huge following now. It could do really good things for the sport.
Maybe he will end up working with the core sports guys.
Yeah, he's got a good
and
relationship with Mark. He's training with Mark Boyd, isn't he? So
I'm sure something will happen. I think he's training to compete in the Middle East Strongest Man, isn't he? So
which is a WUS qualifier. So, but they do have some great guys do that. I mean, it was won by Yevgeny Markov last year, and then Pablo Kordiak came second, who just came fourth at Europe. So, you know,
well, Pablo Nekonechny was sixth.
Yeah, so, and he's an incredibly strong guy.
So
it's a tough competition.
It
so
is.
It'd be very interesting to see how
I'm interested in watching how Larry does. I really like Larry. Trained with him a couple of times now. My only issue with Larry, I think...
Is this an issue with Larry?
No, it's not an issue with him. But my issue with him doing strongman is that I think he focuses on so many things that it's hard to excel at something. He's someone that's just really good at lots of things.
Yeah, agreed.
He's a good arm wrestler. He's a good power lifter. He's a good bodybuilder. He's a good strongman. But I don't think he'll ever be elite at anything until he decides to dial in and focus just on one. Yeah. That's just my personal opinion.
That's fair enough.
But to be honest, I don't think he will do that because he'll focus on doing what he does best, which is YouTube content.
Yeah.
So, and if you can do it all, then he's got more areas to go into.
Lars, have you lost any grip strength with all your weight loss?
No, my grip is funny. On the deadlifts at Tattooed and Strong, a lot of people were struggling with the bar and the grip. My grip was the only thing that felt really good. It was the deadlift that felt hard and the bench that felt hard, but my grip felt solid. I felt I could have held on to much heavier weight.
What's this? How? Thank you for the super chat. How? If Brian Shaw shies away from talk about being enhanced despite being self-sponsored, what chances do other athletes have?
It's very difficult for athletes to talk about stuff like that. I've said this before.
Yeah.
You know, if
you can't blame the athletes when they're sponsored. And also, you know, it's like a brotherhood in strongman, isn't it? The reason people don't talk about it is because if some of the major event sponsors decide, actually, all these athletes are talking about this, we don't want to be associated with this sport anymore, what does it do to things like World's Strongest Man or Giants Live?
It's difficult. I mean, honestly, I'd like to be able to talk more freely than I do.
Of course.
Because I think a lot of people get very bad advice and are killing themselves. But it's a very difficult one to answer truthfully because there are so many factors people have to look into. But I think most people are not naive. No. You know, you kind of know what goes on behind the scenes, but it's important to understand you still need incredible genetics. You need to train damn hard. You need to eat, get all these things right because there is no quick fix from a medical box.
No. And if we ever accidentally burn all of our bridges in strongman, Loz will just spill. Oh, God, hold on. Sorry. That was probably really loud. I whacked the mic. Is it still plugged in? It's still plugged in? Yes. How much does Liz bench? The bar?
Just about.
Bench is by far my weakest lift. I hate bench. I don't have any chest muscles. Do you remember when I was doing that? What was that? And you were like, why can I see all of your ribs and your skeleton?
You're doing like a pec deck machine.
Yeah, pec deck. Where's your pecs? I don't have pecs.
You had bones.
Yeah, bones and boobs.
Kevin, thank you for the super chat. Obviously, Tom Stoltman is current world's strongest man, but who, in your opinion, is pound for pound the strongest man on the planet?
Pound for pound.
That's a tough question.
It would probably be someone pretty light, to be fair.
Maybe someone like John Hack, who's a powerlifter. But there's so many variables when it comes to pound for pound and the type of lifts that you're doing. And smaller, someone at 90 kilos can be exceptionally strong based on their frame. If Thor was 90 kilos, he would be extremely weak because of his frame being so big.
He'd be so skinny.
You can't always compare just based on body weight.
Yeah.
So that's why I like strongman. It's just about who is the best. But yeah, it's a fun debate to kind of talk about. There's so many great athletes. But
do you think in strongman specifically, like pro strongman, who would you say?
Someone like Kevin Ferris is very good.
Yeah.
Rob Kearney is very good pound for pound. Rhiannon.
Alexei Novikov.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest, is he?
There's plenty of guys out there that, you know, are much lighter and are still exceptionally good.
Does Loz have some Easter eggs in his beard?
Probably.
Yeah,
Could be.
we used it for the Easter egg hunt this morning. Oh, Frederick, thank you so much for the very generous super chat.
Thank you very much, Frederick.
Wow, after all these videos, I've just noticed that Loz has dimples when he smiles. And Liz, I upped my chat in case you want another spray before coming into the US.
Thank you so much, Frederick.
For another spray,
I think the dimples are coming back because I'm losing weight as well.
Oh, give us a smile. You do have cute dimples, and the beard is hidden. Look, there they are, everyone. Can you see? There we go.
Leave my dimples alone.
It's Ali's only dimples. Look, is that Alex Lungu?
It is indeed.
Thank you for the sticker, Lungu. Loz's favourite nephew, of course.
His dumbbell was looking very good yesterday.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
He's got a little bit of a back issue, but if he listens, he'll sort it.
Well, here we go. Quick answer, Lozzie. What do you find more difficult, the log or the axle?
Personally, I can't give a quick answer.
I know.
Right. I was better at the axle than I was at the log. I could get more leg power into an axle, whereas the log requires a bit more tricep strength. So weirdly, I could often beat guys I beat Eddie a lot of times on the axle, I beat Hicksy a lot of times on the axle, whereas they generally beat me on the log because of the tricep strength, but the axle required the ability to clean the weight, and then I could get a lot more leg power into the drive. So for me, axle.
There you go.
What's more difficult, log?
Yeah. Hello, finest jelly beans. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the super chat. Did Louis Simmons / Westside Barbell have any impact on your training?
Yeah, absolutely. Louis Simmons was just an incredible inspiration to so many lifters, and his Westside method is kind of world renowned and used by many people. I didn't often use it in my own type of training. I think it's based, or it implements better towards equipped powerlifting than necessarily strongman. I think if you tried to use that method for strongman, you'd burn out quite quickly. But I used to love watching the documentaries, his YouTube videos, just to get fired up for the gym. I mean, Westside versus the world, you watch that and you're ready to train. Yeah. And, he was a guy that trained an incredible amount of world champions. It's somewhere that I would have loved to have gone and trained there as well. I didn't personally use a lot of his methods in my own training, though.
Here's a juicy one. Ethan, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Loz and Liz. What are your opinions on Paul Smith's comments? I personally felt bad for Andy and that Paul handled it a bit immaturely. It's become like an annual tradition, the memes with Paul.
I think Paul and Andy actually get on okay. And Andy, he feeds the fire.
He baits him.
Yeah, he does. Andy posts a lot of stuff, just trying to poke him a little bit and annoy him. I've seen a few. And,
it goes two ways in, does it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel sorry for Andy?
No, I didn't feel sorry for Andy. Andy's a big boy that can look after himself. I did laugh at some of the memes.
Some of the memes
they were funny. And Paul takes it great. And, good things came from it because Paul got invited to the Giants Live Classic, where he's going to get a chance to compete against Andy.
Yes. So we can settle this once and for all, because right now they've competed against each other 3 times and it's 3-0 to Paul, isn't it? So
the comps that I can remember, they've competed at UK Strongest Man last year. No, UK Strongest Man last year.
Yeah, sorry.
And then Britain's Strongest Man twice.
Yeah.
And I believe Paul beat him in all 3 shows.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Paul is a very good strongman.
He's going to be the new Rauno. So give him a few more years and then he'll be in Rauno territory. And then even I'll start showing.
And this goes back to why I don't want to be 4 foot.
Oh, yeah.
You're 8 foot, people look at you. When you're 4 foot, people ignore you.
So do you mean if Paul was bigger, do you think he'd get more invitations?
Yeah, I think he would. And if Paul's listening, just a little bit more personality.
Not that you don't have a personality.
No, he does. He has a great personality when you know Paul, but just sometimes it doesn't come across that well publicly. I feel terrible now for saying that. But I've spoken to him about it before.
Let's move on quickly. Here we go. Thank God for Dylan. Thank you for the super chat, Dylan. What strongman comps do we have coming up next to be excited about? Also, congrats to Loz for his performance at Tattooed and Strong. So fun to watch.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Honestly, the big thing now is World's Strongest Man. We have Clash on the Coast next week, which is a really big. Well, they've got under 105 men and under 82 kilo women, and there's some exceptional women competing in that.
And they're having a record breakers show on the Friday evening as well, aren't
they? Evan Singleton was supposed to be coming over to do the dumbbell record. Unfortunately, he tweaked a little bit of a shoulder injury in training. He's decided not to do it so he can focus on Worlds. But in terms of heavyweights, World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
That's the big thing right now. I think once we're back from America, it's all going to be about the build-up to Worlds.
Yeah. And then after that, it will be the Strongman Classic in July. So
there's still loads of shows this year, but I think May is going to all be about building up towards Worlds.
Yeah, definitely. As much as people get annoyed about Worlds, in fact, they can't straight away, we do all want to know what's happening at Worlds, don't we?
Yeah.
What do you want me to click on?
I'm just saying, remember, these are members.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but they're talking about the...
No, they're talking about, someone said Obi's a strongman, a showman. He is indeed, and that's what helps him. You know, people remember Obus because of the way he is.
Indeed. Oh, here we go. Rick, can't wait for Team US versus UK. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited that they're going to have women in those teams as well.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about it and what the plans are. I think it's going to be a fun concept. It's great having the individual shows, but I think team comps bring a different element, and I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Someone steady state saying Andy is underrated for his humor, second to Martins. Yeah, Andy is very funny, to be fair.
Would you say Martins is funnier than Andy and Parr?
Martins has got like this sort of self-depreciating humor, like he's I'm so tired, and you know, it is funny. Yeah,
no, he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, in person,
personally, I find British people. Oh God, no, I can't say this.
What were you going to say?
Funnier.
You find British people funnier?
Then I realise we have a largely American.
So who's your funniest strongman? For you, who's the funniest?
Oh, people are funny for different reasons. I don't know. Like, Bish is really funny.
Yeah, when you know him.
Yeah, when you know him. Yeah. But you guys probably wouldn't even know that because Bish isn't funny on social media. No. Bish is funny in person. Who's funny? Rauner's funny when he doesn't mean to be.
Rauner's hilarious.
Rauner is hilarious. And that's why I love him so much. Who's funny? Evan's quite funny.
Yeah.
Who's funny? Not many of them are that funny, are they? Now I think about it.
Yes, because you see the grumpy side to them too behind the scenes.
Yeah, I guess.
But
who's funny? I'm actually stuck. I feel like I'm missing
Andy
something obvious.
Funny.
Andy is funny. Parr is funny.
Parr's very funny.
Very funny. Yeah.
I think Lalas is funny, but people probably don't because they only see serious Lalas.
Yeah, yeah.
When you kind of know him behind the scenes a bit more, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Do you know who's funny?
Go on.
Zydrunas. Zydrunas has a really dry sense of humor.
Yeah, Zydrunas is quite funny, actually, to be fair to him. Oh, Ivers is funny as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like
Eddie's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, not everyone finds it funny. Christian, where is your... here we go. I can see your super chat down here, Christian. You guys are my only friends. You're our only friends? Honestly. Well, you have friends. I just have my laptop and editing. But thank you. Ellie Sig, thank you for the super chat. What was your worst event which you still liked?
It's not so much a strongman event, but bench pressing. I like benching. I'm just not very good at it. As most of you know now, I hate duck walk and I'm not good at it, so that doesn't count. Yeah. I like that with stones. I wasn't bad at them. I was just hit and miss at them.
You got better, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, you became more reliable at them.
I mean, I've beaten some really good stone lifters before, and then I could have a real bad stone lifting performance as well.
There you go.
Have you?
Ooh, Safari Slayer. Loved seeing competition, Loz, for Tattooed and Strong. Looking forward to watching you compete in stones for distance, arm wrestling, powerlifting, and whatever I shall treat us to. Backlift?
Thank you. I'll always lift and train for something. Yeah. I just don't know what yet.
Well, you're going to go back up to Scotland and try and do the bridge, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Lozzie, what are the chances of you ever collabing with Eddie?
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Yeah. Eddie's a busy man. And to be fair, we're busy as well. And we just haven't been able to make anything work, have we? I
No.
mean, even we were all in Dubai, but he was at a different hotel. We only actually saw him at the press conference and then at the fight.
Yeah. So I'm sure we can make something happen at some point.
Yes, definitely. There you go.
So you can't beat British humour.
Yeah.
There are some amazing British sitcoms.
Yeah.
Only
to be
Fools and
fair,
Horses.
there's some brilliant American sitcoms. Like one thing that always has me crying laughing is The American Office.
Yeah,
whereas I don't find The British Office nearly as funny. The American Office, though, Dwight, oh my God, that scene where he cuts off the face of the CPR doll. He's like, hello, Clarice. Oh, God. And Fire Drill. Sorry, I digress. What am I clicking on?
Just Sarah keeps saying happy Easter. So
Happy Easter, Sarah. Thank you for joining us on another live. It's so nice when you just see all the same faces.
And the members as well.
Auntie Liz imitating Big Z is funny.
Yeah, it is.
Hopefully he doesn't watch
Auntie Liz is actually very funny. Auntie Liz is like living with a clown. Actually, I live with 3 clowns.
Yeah, the kids
I
are
am
funny,
by far the least well, I'm probably funnier than Ava.
Yeah, she doesn't live here full time though. So you are the least funny person that lives in this house, definitely. Captain Kurt, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey guys, thank you both for all the great and respectful content. My wife and I greatly enjoy it. Obi stated that Eddie will be making a comeback. Do you know if it's true? Also, could you look at the camera and say, Kate, time to come back to the gym? Does that say Kate? Kate, say it.
Kate, time to come back to the gym.
Oh, is that his wife?
Yes.
Oh, Kate, it's time for you to go back to the gym. Not
take Auntie Liz with you.
Yeah, we'll do it together. But
Obi and Eddie are both going to be captains of the team competition, and I'm guessing that both of them are going to do at least one event. Yes. So I think that's what Oberst will be talking about when he says Eddie's making a comeback.
Yeah.
I don't see Eddie making a full comeback to Strongman, but there's certain events, just like myself, that he can still do. Like Eddie's really good at a front hold, and he can still do that without training for it. Weirdly, I'm really good at a front hold.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed when they did the Strongman Classic last year, because I was told there was going to be 6 events, and one of them was the Hercules hold and one of them was the front hold. And I was like, there's 2 events I can pick up points on without having to be that strong.
Yeah, or get hurt.
Yeah. But they got rid of the front hold. So I went, to be honest, it's a terrible event as well. It's boring to watch. But I was just weirdly good at it.
Yeah. You had to do it last year at that promotional thing we did at that rugby place. Yeah. And you did 56 seconds,
something
which
like that
would have won some competitions.
Yeah.
But you still lost to the rugby player because they gave him like a 50-minute long passage or something stupid.
Yeah. I think the poor guy going against Mark Felix on the Hercules hold had no advantage. No. He dropped it straight away.
Yeah.
And then me on the front hold, they gave him like a ridiculous head start. But yeah, I'm not bitter.
No, not at all.
But yeah, Eddie's got events he could still do quite comfortably. And like for us older guys, I'm not saying Eddie's old, but guys like myself,
seasoned,
Mark, and Terry, for instance, our grips are really strong, and you don't really lose grip strength. I said in my powerlifting comp, my grip was the only thing that felt good.
Yeah,
everything else was harder, but my grip still feels as strong as ever.
Here we go. Stuart, thank you so much for the super chat. Stuart, do you know when we find out the groups for Worlds? No, that's going to come after the events. We know that much. So
yeah, hopefully we'll find out the events very soon. I really hope so. I mean, the athletes know the events. So the athletes have been sent a list of events to train for.
Yeah.
So, because some people are saying, oh, they've got to tell the athletes, and the athletes do know.
Yeah.
But it's not an exact list. So they don't know perhaps heights, weights, implements that might be used, but they know they're going to be doing some sort of deadlift, some sort of events, like loading events, some sort of, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So hopefully all that is announced soon, and then the groups will be announced.
Yeah. And from what I know, it's those fine details, which is holding back the official announcement, just like figuring some of that stuff.
One thing I never used to, take into account when I was competing was that location dictates some of these events. So I'll go back to 2014 when they removed 2 of my favorite events. 2014, I was told yoke and frame in the final of World's Strongest Man.
They know this story.
Yeah, I know. I'm just reminding them because I'm very bitter about it. But it was on a beach. So logistically, you couldn't
couldn't
really
do
do
it.
those
No, they
events on a
couldn't.
beach. So they changed them to a loading event on sand and the keg toss. Events that you can do on a beach.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't do a truck pull, for instance, on a beach because
No.
it's just not going to go anywhere. So they need to look at locations that they're going to be using. Then they can decide.
Yeah.
That's what takes up a lot of the time, is making
Yeah.
sure that they can do the events at these locations that they're going to use.
There we go. Alejandro, thank you so much for the super chat. Who would you cast in the strongest man in history, not including Eddie or any American? You get 3 to 4 other members.
I think Zadrunas would be a good choice.
Yeah.
I think myself would be a good choice.
Think about people that can be entertaining, but also strong. And
I think me and Zadrunas can.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not implying you wouldn't.
I'll tell you someone who I think would be great, and he's very entertaining, is Krzysztof Radzikowski.
Yes.
I think someone like Terry.
Yeah, Terry's really funny, to be fair.
Terry's like, he's got a kind of a dry sense of humor and stuff, but he's very knowledgeable as well with Strongman. I think that would be.
JF. And JF's not American.
Yeah, JF would be great. JF would be awesome.
Yeah. JF's very funny. I should have said that.
Yeah, he is.
There we are. It's all going to come.
It's funny because we know people that will see them. Oh, he's really serious. I'm like, no, he's funny.
No, yeah, JF's really funny. When they're all together, everyone's funny, I think.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of mates after.
Yeah.
But obviously when they're competing and you see that seriousness, and that's all you see. People used to think I was just like super serious all the time. And it's just so not the truth. I'm very rarely serious.
Yeah, I know.
But
not serious.
When all you see of someone is them smashing themselves over the head with a stick and going and lifting, you get an impression.
Yeah.
That guy's crazy.
Yeah, well, you did look crazy, Lozzie. Adam Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, guys. Can you tell us anything about the Giants Life in Liverpool UK versus USA event in November? I saw a video from Rob Obus back in March saying Eddie will be competing. Any truthful info?
So I think we just answered that question.
Yeah, so we've spoken to Colin and Darren about it. They're still figuring things out, I think, but the premise or the idea that they've got is that they'll have the two teams. They'll have a range of athletes, maybe even like a lower weight class guy. They're going to have a woman in each as well. And I think the idea is there'll be lots of events and they'll like send out an athlete from each team to do it.
Yeah.
And like whoever they think will be best for that event. So it's going to be totally different to anything we've seen before. It's just going to be a really fun show by the sounds of it. So are you looking forward to it, Lozzie? And yes, Eddie is supposed to be doing it.
Well, Eddie's the British captain. He's the captain of the UK team.
Yeah.
So I'm presuming he's going to do something.
Yeah. There you go. The American officer's better. Totally agree. Have you seen the Peep Show? Never seen that.
I've seen an episode.
Have you? Mm-hmm. That was enough, was it?
It was reasonably funny.
There you go.
Magnus Samuelsson for a chat.
You should get Magnus Samuelsson on for a chat. Thank you for the super chat, Ben.
Thank you very much, Ben. We've had Magnus on before.
Yeah.
There is a Talking Strongman with Magnus if you search for it. He's a great person to have on. Like, he's one of my absolute favorite strongmen. So
he was like your hero, wasn't he?
Yes.
Don't be shy, Lozzie. Everyone has one.
No, Magnus is a lovely guy as well, and he was indeed someone when I was young I kind of definitely looked up to.
Okay.
There's Sam.
Hi, Sam Taylor. Sue is the funniest strong woman. That's her wife, so she might be biased, but we believe you. Do you have any predictions for UK strongest women?
I disagree with Sam there. To me, the funniest strong woman is Andrea.
To be fair, Andrea is hilarious.
And I might be being biased because she's like...
We've spent more time
with
like
Andrea family to us,
any other strong woman.
Andrea is hilarious.
Me and Andrea together, I think we could have a sitcom.
Yeah.
Because we sort of bring out the funny in each other and we just end up... I don't know how she does well when I'm there. It's just ridiculous.
I think you relax her. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Any predictions for UK strongest woman? I'll say.
Do you know what? I need to really look into it. I don't, if I'm just being honest, Sam, I haven't looked too much into UK strongest woman.
And the events and everything.
Yeah. No. So I'd need to spend a bit of time and...
Bloody hell, you don't have much time. It's on April the 30th.
Yeah, I know. But you know
Sorry,
why,
Sam. No, we don't.
You know why I haven't looked too much at the UK events this year.
Moving on swiftly. Has Liz ever thought about a series of interviewing the wives and girlfriends of strongmen? I think it would make a great series. Without saying too much, watch this space. Something might be coming later in the year, mightn't it, Leslie?
Might be.
I can't talk about it too much just yet, but watch this space. Right. Keep scrolling.
What do you reckon to this?
Any day of the week, Eddie can beat Obus in a shoulder event.
Agree or disagree?
As like in Prime Eddie, absolutely. Any day of the week, I agree. Now, I don't know. I don't know what sort of weights Eddie's lifting right now, but I also
it's kind of irrelevant when someone retires. It's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You can only go on what people do when they compete.
But when they were both competing at the same time, absolutely, I agree with that.
Look at this one.
Will Mark Felix be the strongest 70-year-old?
Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a very strong man.
We don't have that long to wait either.
JF is the best. Yes.
JF has a cow in his gym. Yeah. Hope JF watches these, but doubt it.
JF watches a lot of our stuff. We know that.
Quite a few of the strong men do.
Yeah, they'll message me after if I say anything mean about them.
Yeah, or I accidentally won't see Rauna's comment. You say, I said hi to you and you didn't even see, fuck you. And I'm like, Rauna, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get
that is exactly what Rauna would do as well.
It's what he said to me. Stephen Bender, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you both for the awesome
Thank you very
content
much, Stephen.
We're doing very well, aren't we, Lazo?
We're
going to be absolutely knackered in the next week or so. Do you guys want me to do a little vlog from Alton Towers? Vote with your feet. Let us know in the comments. I wouldn't take my camera. It would be a phone job just because it's massive. And yeah, don't want to be taking that onto any rides or leaving it in the coat area. Leighton, thank you so much for the super chat. Loz, I saw your weight loss before and after on Instagram. You're looking phenomenal. What's the secret? Any specific diet plan that you're following?
I'm working with a nutritionist. I was working with a guy called John Anderson, and he's very much high protein, low carbs, which doesn't necessarily work for everyone. And it didn't really agree with me. I'm of Middle Eastern heritage and was brought up on rice and meat. So I didn't like having no carbs in my diet. So I'm working with someone else now and we've got more of a balance. But I feel good. I keep explaining this, and my goal is health and fitness. It's not to get shredded and be on stage as a bodybuilder. So I'm not trying to do like a 12-week transformation or rush anything. It's about longevity and feeling good in myself and coming down to like a healthy-ish weight. I mean, I'm still big, but like a more manageable weight that I feel good at. I can still feel relatively strong and look physically better. And also I'm getting like bloods done to make sure that I'm nice and fit and healthy. That's kind of my main goal. So yeah, I still want to keep losing some body fat, and I'm working with Titan Nutrition right now, and she's really helping me. She understands that I need a bit of flexibility. I'm not you can't really tell me you're going to do these 6 meals a day and that's all you're allowed to do, because that to me is like, that's me in prep for a competition. And I'm moving away from that sort of mentality. I want like a more balanced lifestyle. I can go out for a meal and not feel guilty about it.
Yeah, something sustainable.
So I'm trying to create a good relationship with food, because that's something I always struggled with, especially as a kid. I have a very bad, I can be really good, but I can be really bad.
Really bad.
You know, and I'm trying to now be like, you just generally eat much healthier, stick to, you know, I right now I'm still eating about 3,700 calories a day. So it's a good amount of food.
Good amount of food, yeah.
But it's not like crazy amounts that you eat to try and be a heavyweight strongman.
Do you know what though? I've never seen anyone eat as much as Zadrunas.
No. Zadrunas.
If I had a food eating challenge and I got to have a teammate and I could pick anyone, I would pick Zadrunas. I would. I'd be like, come on, Zay.
I got like, I remember doing I think it was a super series competition in Norway. And there was a guy called Paul Pujol.
Yeah, I remember
Paul was a good up and coming strongman. He was there with his dad. And obviously Zadrunas was there. And they're looking at Zadrunas. He's the legend. And Zadrunas is eating. So Paul's dad was like, oh, go and eat with Zadrunas. and he's like forcing him to try and keep up in this eating with Zadrunas. And you could see Paul like just getting more and more stuffed.
Yeah. He's like, eat more, eat more.
Yeah. But something that's important with nutrition is to understand you can't just go from 3,000 calories a day to 10,000 calories a day. You know, someone like Zadrunas has built up to his eating capacities. And it's the same coming down in weight as well. If you go from 10,000 calories a day to 3,000, you're going to feel like crap. You've got to kind of reduce things slowly. So it's about good habits and eating to improve your health, your fitness, and again, you know what I can be like.
Yeah,
it's, you know, I'm trying to make sure I don't do what I used to do, and you know, I could balloon up and add 10 kilos.
You have a bad night, then it's a bad weekend. Then it was
the mental side for me, and then I turned to food if I was depressed. So I'm trying to be much better at that type of thing.
Eric, thank you so much for the super chat. Eric, what sorts of things should I look for in a personal trainer? Are there any questions I should ask as I try to find one?
Most people now are on social media, so I would give their social media a look, try and find reviews on them, and not reviews that are done from someone that's been with them less than a month. You need to see long-term results from people. Like one thing I do with my clients, I like long-term results. If you're going to become a client of mine, don't expect to be hitting a PB within the first month of training with me, because we're looking at creating good lifting habits, technique. Normally, it takes 3 to 5 months before people will hit a PB with me. The longer people stay with me, they tend to get better and better and better. And, you know, I've got certain clients, one today, actually, he just got a 700 kilo total in his powerlifting comp. And I think in the last year, he's put on about 150 kilos to his total. The first year he trained with me, he developed so many bad habits, he didn't get any stronger. We just spent the whole year addressing weaknesses, and he probably got really fed up of me bugging him all the time. He's like, send me his videos, and I'll be like, you know, we need to work on this. He had sciatica, he had injury issues. Now he's got none of that, and now he's making really steady progress. But you need a coach that's looking at your long-term progress, not someone that's just looking for a quick fix.
How do you weed those out, though? How do you weed out the
looking
quick fixes?
At like you if you go into people's like websites to go onto their profiles, look at the people that they're coaching. Read reviews, go on websites and ask other people. You know, people talk about my coaching on Reddit. And a lot of my clients will go on there and, you know, give me great feedback, which is really nice to see. I mean, I've had a lot of clients come to us and say they've been with plenty of other people before, and it's so good being with me because, you know, they get regular feedback, they get personal training specific to them.
I think the answer is clear, Eric. You just need to be coached by Loz.
Well, there is that. I mean, personal trainer is a bit different. I'm an online coach. So like a personal trainer is someone you're going to work with in the gym. But still, they should, if they're good in this day and age, most people are on social media. So look at their reputation, look at the people that they're working with. Think about what your goals are as well, because there's some personal trainers out there that are really good at some things, but not others. So for instance, if someone came to me for bodybuilding prep for a comp, I'd send them somewhere else because that's not what I specialize in. I work on being really good at what I do. So I focus on powerlifters, strongmen, and people wanting to get stronger for their sports. If you wanted to an Olympic lifter, I'd send you somewhere else. And if a coach isn't willing to do that because they're scared of like someone else getting a better coach, you kind of question whether they know what they're talking about.
People do want to see a vlog.
Okay.
So there you go. It would be easy to do just on the phone while we're queuing.
What they want to see is whether I can fit in a ride.
Don't worry, that's going to be basically what it's about. How many rides can Lozzie fit on? Frederick, thank you so much for another super chat. After meeting the strong men and women at the Arnolds, I would say that all of them are funny and personable, and Andrew is super funny with or without Liz. What US events will you be at?
So we'll be at Clash on the Coast next week. We will be at
almost definitely at the Rogue Invitational.
Rogue Invitational, hopefully. We'll be at the OSG
in November. Yeah.
Those three are pretty much definite at the moment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, won't be at World's Strongest Man. Probably won't be at the Shore Classic.
I think that's it for America this year, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. That's a good amount though, isn't it? We've already been once so far this year.
twice at the end of last year. So
yeah. So
we're hoping to have a substantial stay in the States later in this year, aren't we?
yeah. Rana getting offended is hilarious.
He genuinely does.
Me and Rat, no, he doesn't. We have quite a bit of banter. Just slide into each other's DMs and give each other shit. There we go. This one.
Yeah.
Do you think Bibby will lose strength if he loses 30 kilos, like he said he'd do during the Giants Live podcast?
Honestly, I think if he does it the right way, he won't lose an awful amount of strength at all. And I think he could potentially be a better all-round strongman because of it. So I think 30 kilos on him is not a huge amount. He's such a massive man. He just doesn't. If he lost it exceptionally quickly, then yes, it's going to affect his strength. But I think he could lose 30 kilos and still be. I think he could be a better strongman for it. That's,
I think so too.
Maybe he'd lose 5 kilos on his log or axle, but he can afford to.
Yeah, to win events and competitions. Have you ever cried during Strongman, Loz?
I probably shed a tear in 2017 when I tore my tricep, and it was nothing to do with.
That wasn't 2017.
2015.
Yeah.
That was probably the hardest moment for me in Strongman. I'm not like a crier for pain.
No.
But emotionally, it was just a very, very hard thing for me to go through.
Did you ever cry when you won? Did you cry when you won your Europe's?
Tear in my eye. And the Royal Albert Hall, actually.
Oh, yeah.
That was, quite emotional.
Yeah, I think we all had a tear then, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
But not like a proper cried.
No. I'm not really like a crier as such.
No.
Well, I am.
You are, actually.
I'm an
just
emotional
not
wreck,
at home, he cries. No.
I'm not someone that cries through pain. It's always kind of through.
He cries watching like an advert for a charity appeal,
soft.
And kids' films make you cry a lot, don't they?
Sometimes
Pixar films and stuff like that.
Some of them are really sad.
Some of them are really sad, Lozzie. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. I'd pay $50 to watch Worlds Live. I would too. Would you, Lozzie?
Would I pay $50 to watch Worlds Live?
Yeah. You would. You've paid that much to watch a bloody fight. And that could be over in seconds. I think a lot of us would. Problem is,
I don't think they'd make enough.
They would never.
There's not enough people that would pay $50.
We would never, between us, the ones that would pay, we would never ever cover the costs of what the TV deals are worth. And that's the crux of it, isn't it? And that's the main issue. So I think what we need to lobby for is faster broadcasting, like especially in Britain. No waiting for Christmas. No. Get it out within a week.
Yeah.
Boom. Height of the excitement. I might if it was going to be out within a week, I might even avoid results. No.
Would you? I wouldn't.
No, I don't think I could.
Honestly,
I don't think I could.
Just the way I want to know the results instantly.
Yeah. No, I do too.
And I'm like that with every sport that I watch.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Why would I want to wait a week?
Even a week. Yeah. Sod that. Elaine. Hi, Loz. How big a difference does being fit and strongman make? Does it equate to extra reps?
Fitness and conditioning are two different things. So you could be physically super fit and run marathons, but not be conditioned at all to do strongman. You could be a strongman that hasn't got a chance in hell of running a marathon, but be much more conditioned to your body coping with the stresses of strongman. So understanding when you're doing a specific sport, it's conditioning that you're looking at for that particular sport. So with that being said, it does make a difference if you are well conditioned to do events. So an event like a log for reps is a good example. It's a full body movement, especially going from the floor, and it's very draining. You'll find a lot of people can press from their chest quite a lot, but when you start cleaning every single rep, it can change the event. And someone that may be a 180 log lifter might struggle on a 130 for reps, for instance. You might be like a 150, 160 log lifter and beat the 180 log lifter just because your conditioning is better and your efficiency to clean the log, etc. So there are elements to it. Being fitter helps in fast-paced competitions.
Yeah, definitely.
So the shows that are done in a short period of time.
Giants Live,
the worst competition. Last year when we were in Dubai, guys like Kilizkowski and Novikov had a big advantage over some of the guys because they just managed to recover that bit quicker. There was guys puking everywhere and, it's
cramping massively, wanting oxygen.
But being physically fit or fit enough for your sport is important. And, being able to recover between events, there's definitely a factor to it. So, I don't think you should neglect fitness.
Some people thinking maybe Z isn't the biggest eater, and that Thor or Shaw could eat more.
No.
Honestly, unless you've been to a restaurant with Zadrunas and all you can eat buffet, you've never seen anything.
I know
like
exactly what Thor ate on a daily basis.
Yeah, because you've spent time at his house, haven't you?
Zadrunas eats more than Thor.
Zadrunas isn't as social media-y as the others.
Let's remember as well, when Zadrunas was his best, it was more, longer.
2012, 2013.
Yeah, Zadrunas has been on social media now, but not at his biggest and best.
No.
But when he was in his prime, I don't know anyone that ate more than
No.
him. Shaw is a big eater, but I'd still say Zadrunas is bigger.
Yeah.
Thor is he's a big eater, but not even close to Zadrunas and Shaw.
You've literally never
Thor's someone that
like
would just stick to his plan.
Yeah.
If he was told he had to eat something, he'd eat it. But Zadrunas would just keep eating.
Yeah, honestly, it was like, God, he's gone up again. And then was it when we stayed at the Hilton with him when there was that Strongman Winter Classic, and it took us about 2 hours to get through his dinner. Just sitting there, just up again, massive plates of food coming back, maybe 10 of them.
I think because now we get to see the guys' diets and stuff, it's easy to think guys like Tom Stoltman, Brian Shaw, etc. You've got to remember with a lot of them, like Brian, for instance, does a lot of eating challenges. He'll put those up, but that's not your consistent eating every day.
No.
Whereas I'm talking about Zadrunas just used to eat non-stop.
It was crazy.
Do you know someone that doesn't eat as much as people would think is Iron Bibi?
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Easy gainer. Al Press Cat, thank you so much for the super chat. Big Z versus Brian Shaw eating contest. I'd love to see that. That would be brilliant. That would be YouTube gold. Yeah. We need to find a way.
I'm sure one of them's happy to make it happen.
Finds a way to make it happen. I think we'd all like to see that. Right, let's try and catch up a little bit. Here we go. So now, thank you for the super chat. Big fan of the channel. I'm training to be a strongman someday and was wondering how long it takes for someone who's 6'1" and 240 pounds to fill out the frame.
How long's a piece of string? Excuse me. I've got a cold, by the way.
I have COVID tested him. Don't worry.
I do apologize.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. People try and rush this stuff, and this is something they shouldn't do, because filling out a frame of quality size and just getting bigger are two different things. 6'1", 240 pounds. Look to add, if it's going to help you get stronger, look to increase to 250 pounds. These days, I'd work with a nutritionist, someone that's going to help you do it properly, add weight slowly. Don't try to go from 240 to 280 in a short period of time, because
it's just going to be fat, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to put on 35 pounds of fat
and hold some water.
Well, loads of water. It's trying to make sure that the size you put on is quality, and then there's many factors to that as well. But putting on a pound of muscle is much better than putting on 10 pounds of just excess weight. So as long as you're eating well, high protein intake, good types of carbs, good types of fats,
tactical weight gain,
fueling your workouts, recovering from your workouts. That's what nutrition should be doing. It should be fueling your workouts and helping you recover from them, and maintaining enough protein to be you should be looking at being in a slight calorie surplus. If you're in a severe calorie surplus, you're just getting excess calories in for the sake of it.
You're going to get fat. There we go. Alex Nicholson, thank you for the super chat. How do you handle hard-headed clients?
You just bang them over the head, Alex.
Is he one of yours? Is he?
Yeah. He's not even a hard-headed client. He's excitable.
Oh, that's not so bad. You don't mind excitable,
not
do you?
At all. He's doing very well. This last few weeks, he's really knuckled down. His nutrition's been really good. His training sessions have been really good. He's smashing it.
There you go. Morgan, thank you for the super chat. Have you heard of Mark Riptone and his starting strength method? I've been using it for years and have seen consistent results.
Yeah, it's a good, solid training method. And if you're getting results from it, then stick with it. A lot of people try and reinvent the wheel when it comes to training. And training is quite simple. You just need to do the simple things well, consistently over a long period of time.
Here you go, look, Lozzie. You're lucky you have a wife who likes the strongman scene. That's rare.
Is it rare?
I don't know.
I'm lucky to have Liz as my wife. I'll agree with that.
A lot of the women, it's very hard for the wives to be at the competition when your husband's competing. It's not usually an enjoyable experience for the wife because they're just so worried. And they know what a pain in the arse he's going to be if it doesn't go well. And they're worried about him getting injured as well. Did you see that comment?
This one.
Yeah.
He cries after sex. Do I?
No, I do. No. I imagine Loz cried when his kids were born. Yeah, he definitely did then. Sobbing like a baby, weren't you? There you go.
Very proud father.
Yes, real men cry. Ryan, thank you so much for the super chat. I started with Starting Strength and am now coached by Loz. Starting Strength is a fantastic program for novices specifically and can get you a fair ways. Rip is a bit of a hard ass, but better in person. What's Rip?
Ripto.
Oh, Ripto, sorry. Yeah.
Hey Ryan, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Yeah, Starting Strength is great. There's lots and lots of good training methods out there. There is the wrong way to do things as well, though, and that's what a lot of people just try and rush. They lift with bad form. They lift with weights that are too heavy for them. What are we looking at?
I'm just no, carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying that there's lots of good training methods out there. You can have a look on Google. People sell various different training programs. There's lots of great coaches out there. Just being steady and consistent, having realistic results, trying to enjoy what you're doing as well. That's the biggest key, in my opinion.
Here we go. Adam Scott. Thank you, Adam. The only thing bigger than Big Loz's muscles is his heart. No. That's why he cries from time to time. Love you guys.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Loz does have a big heart. You are a big softie, aren't you?
Yes. Sometimes too big a softie.
I'm saying the more stories I hear about Zydrunas, the more I love him. You gotta love Zydrunas, don't you? Zydrunas is brilliant. It's great being around Zydrunas.
Zydrunas is brilliant.
Frederick again. Thank you so much, Frederick. Loz, I'm 59 and had 2 heart attacks in 2020. Jeez, I quit lifting due to that. What would you suggest to get back into it? Love your content and would listen to everything you say.
Thank you very much, Frederick.
Hold on, I might have to let the cat out. I think she needs to do.
I would take advice from your doctor firstly. And, I think it's okay to get back into training, but I talk to your doctor first, and it would need to be very, very gentle to start with. I know people that have had heart attacks that get back into training, no problem at all. But you need to keep monitoring your health and just check how things are. If it was me, I'd be starting with something real easy, like just going on a bike, just getting my heart rate up a little bit, things like swimming, nice and easy on the joints, and then just slowly introducing weights. But yeah, I don't want to sit here and give you advice over a doctor. So it would always be listen to your doctor first and then see what they agree with and then find things that you're capable of doing.
There you go.
There's always a way, though. There is always a way.
Always something you can do, isn't there? What do you think about Evan? I think he's going to surprise everyone at Worlds.
I absolutely love Evan. There's a lot of heat when it comes to Evan. He's very good at hyping things up and, he plays a character very, very well. But he's an absolute gentleman behind the scenes, very respectful and very hardworking. I love his determination. I love how excited he gets. I love his self-belief. I do see weaknesses in terms of technique. I think, he's a bit like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of a younger me.
Yeah.
I was a bull in a china shop, and sometimes you can be amazing and sometimes you can backfire. And I think he's going to be very much like that in his career. He could either come into Worlds and absolutely smash it, or he might get injured. And with someone like Evan, there's no holding back. No. He's going to give 100%. And I believe he's going to have a very successful career. But I do just want to sometimes just see him rein it in a little bit. It's impossible to go 100 miles an hour all the time. So he just needs to control that, just get a bit more experience, understanding when to push his body, when to hold back a little bit. And I think he's going to be a threat. He could well make the final and be a contender for the podium this year. I don't think he wins this year, but I think we could definitely see him in the final and pushing for a podium.
There we go. Here we are. Here's one. Let's stir the tea a little bit. Why does Robert Obus talk shit on your name? Sounds like a jealous bitch. Why doesn't nobody like you, Loz? I
don't really know, if I'm honest. I may have said that he was in the easiest group at World's Strongest Man one year, but to be honest, I don't think I was lying. I had this conversation with Luke Richardson the other day. And me and Luke had a really good chat and sorted things out. And what I say when I'm talking about events and groups for World's Strongest Man, etc., is just an honest opinion from a fan or from someone that's
like
got
a pundit.
Yeah, a pundit. I've got good experience at the competition. I've competed at World's Strongest Man 11 times. I know exactly how it works. I know what goes on behind the scenes. I know what it takes to make the final and, you know, push to do well at the competition. That being said, my opinion is just my opinion. I've had so many people's opinions on me, and it really doesn't matter what my opinion is when it comes to you as an athlete. But I can promise you, with every single strongman, my opinion is not personal. It's just me sitting back, analyzing things, and saying, I think this guy's going to do well because of this reason.
Yeah.
And I pick people over my friends. I, you know, will often kind of change things up. And I was explaining this to Luke. And Luke is an exceptional young man. I think he's got an incredible future ahead of him. And, you know, he's had a bit of bad luck. He's had 2 injuries recently, back to back. And it's very hard on a young guy that's put everything into strongman over the last few years. And, you know, he genuinely believes he can be World's Strongest Man. And do you know what? I believe he can be World's Strongest Man. But now he's got people telling him, oh, he's fragile, he's going to break, he's not going to, you know.
Yeah,
and do you know how many times people have said that to me?
Yeah.
The amount of times I was told, oh, you're past it, you're never going to be any good.
Being
blah, blah,
kicked
blah.
when you're down.
We're seeing it with Kilizkowski now as well.
Yeah,
people are kind of writing him off.
Yeah.
Let's look at Kilizkowski. He's 28 years old. I think Luke is 25 or 26. He's certainly he's younger than Kilizkowski. I was 30 and everyone was writing me off, and I still came back after multiple injuries and won some major titles. Now, they are both younger than me and they are both more talented than me. So I would never write them off, and I think they're both still going to win some huge titles. And I like that they're being smart and holding back. And Oberst just takes what I say the wrong way. He's obviously, rather than having a chat, you know, like Luke did, Luke and me approached each other and we chat like men. Oberst just says what he wants online and then blocks me on Instagram. So I can't even explain my reasoning of why I may have said something. I say things all the time. Sometimes people are like, oh, you said this. I said, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can remember that I said about Oberst was that he was in the easiest group at World's Strongest Man in 2020. And
actually, no. You said, because someone said, why has Oberst been invited to the first short classic? And you said, because he's Brian's mate.
Well, that's true as well.
Loz is the most honest person, and it's brutal sometimes.
I think Robert Oberst is a very entertaining, decent level strongman. Robert Oberst is not an elite, world-class, you know, one of the absolute best. He is a good, solid strongman with a few events that he's very good at and a few events he's really not that good at. That is an honest approach. That's not me saying Robert Oberst is shit. He's really not. He's very good in shoulder power. He's got good grip. Shit. Well, I'm clearly not, because I had a very successful career that was a lot more successful than his. But, you know, he's a decent strongman. He's just not a Brian Shaw or a Zadrunas or a Thor or even an Eddie Hall. Or, to be quite honest, he wasn't as good as I was. You know, go on to the Strongman Archive and you can see what he's won and what he's competed in. I'm not lying about anything that I've said. I'm just telling the facts. And that's what you do as a strongman pundit, as a commentator. And he obviously took it the wrong way.
It's his problem, isn't it, Loz?
I don't lose sleep about Robert Oberst. I can promise you that.
No, we only ever discuss him when you guys bring him up. Frederick, again, thank you so much, Loz. Love your answer, and it increased my respect for you. And we'll look at you as my coach.
Thank you very much.
I'm about 100 kilos and feel great at this weight. And again, love both of you and the great content of Strongman Woman. And just remember, Frederick, next time we meet, I'm partially deaf. So just shout,
nice,
please can I have a photo? And I will say, of course you can. And yeah, I drop you in it. I'm just trying to create an entertaining video. Do you not want to entertain people?
Are you not entertained?
Yes. Loz just needs to bring up Europe's Strongest Man. Yeah, you do. You do.
Uncle Loz, I'm tired of you hating on Brian. He came second last year and you still said he's past his prime. He is past his prime and he still came second. That's how amazing he is.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment. Brian Shaw is still a threat at this year's World's Strongest Man, and he's 40 years old. No one has ever won World's Strongest Man past 38 years old. Zadrunas was the oldest. Brian Shaw in his prime was arguably the greatest strongman we have ever seen. So stop telling me I don't like Brian and I don't have respect for him. I competed against him many, many times. He's one of the best strongman I've ever seen. He is past his best and he's still a threat. That's how amazing he is. But the fact is, he is still past his absolute best. Done.
Jalen, you know your comment's bad if you get that sort of reaction out of Uncle Loz. Luke Richardson is a gent. Always got time for the advice, etc. This opinion is by no way influenced by the fact he pulled a failed bench press off my chest.
It's really nice, though, when you hear that strongmen just in their local gyms and stuff like that are helping people out. It's really
definitely.
Cool. You know, I hate seeing someone mention a strongman and they've kind of treated someone badly or something, and it's cool that Luke's a good guy all the time, which he is.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on Matej Kilizkowski.
Don't get me started on Matej. I'm fired up now. Matej is one of the greatest strongmen I've ever met, one of the most talented people I've ever met. I think he needs a little more advice when it comes to coaching. I think he burns himself out. He trains so hard. Sometimes you can be too aggressive when it comes to training, and you just need to hold back a little bit so that you peak at the right time. And I think coming back from injuries, maybe he's still looking at himself as pre-injury Matej. And you've got to, when you've had certain injuries and you've dropped that level, you kind of need to look at where you're at. So maybe he just needs someone looking after him a little better. But without question, one of the best strongmen I've ever seen, one of the most talented men I've ever met.
And really nice as well.
And lovely. Yeah, an absolutely lovely person.
Really sweet, very humble.
Yeah, you're clearly holding back there, aren't you? I can see.
I just love it when you get excited about something, Lozo.
I'm talking about strongman. I always get excited about strongman.
No, I know. There we go. Right, any chance? Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of this. People want more JF on the channel.
Well, I'm always happy to have JF on.
Yeah, JF.
He is welcome anytime. He's messaged me before and said, can I come on and talk about a strongman show that he's got coming up in Canada? If he ever does that and he wants to come on, he is always welcome.
Maybe we could also, like, through the world season, maybe we could get him to join us on a live. I think that would be really fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it's nice and easy on this. Not like when we tried to do them on Zoom. Oh, my God, that was a disaster. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, there we go. Nearly put them in a timeout. Laura, fired up. Loz answering questions is great, and Liz trying not to laugh. I know how to push Loz's buttons is the problem. You're all right though, aren't you?
I'm absolutely fine.
He's fine though. He hasn't even broken a sweat.
No,
He's okay.
I'm good. I'm just fired up.
Who do you want to win World's Strongest Man this year? If you could pick anyone regardless of ability.
I wanted Matej Kilizkowski to win.
Yeah, I did too.
I think.
Now I want Rauno to win. Can you imagine? Because then we could say they didn't invite him for 10 years. He comes back, he wins. He could have possibly missed out on 10 titles.
I think, like, over the last couple of years, I would have loved to have seen JF win.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to see Luke Stoltman win. I'd love Kim to win.
Do you know, I wouldn't be unhappy for any of them. Like, if any of them, I would be happy for anyone who wins because.
There's not a single person this year competing that I dislike. I like every single one of them.
not a single one this year.
Yeah. I like every single guy that's competing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know every single one of them.
No.
But I know.
They seem really nice, though, the ones that we don't know.
At least 28 of them.
Yeah. Who don't you know? Mikatoro.
But
he did a gravel load for me, so he's clearly a great guy.
Yeah. Coco, I've never met before.
No, yeah.
I think that's about it. I met everyone else.
And look who's here is Rongo Keen.
I'd love to see this guy back at World's Strongest Man.
For the super chat, Rongo. I just wanted to thank you both for the amazing content you've put out for us consistently. Sending love to you both and the family.
Thank you so much, buddy. Rongo. Hopefully we get to see you back competing. Rongo Keen, everyone. Go and give the man a follow. He is one of the funniest guys in Strongman.
Yes,
there you go.
Rongo Keen, yes.
How could we forget that?
How could we forget that? Rongo's Instagram is just hilarious. Sometimes I'm like, what am I watching? But he's brilliant and just one of those happy, great to. I've never actually met him, but
have you not?
It's great to.
He
have
is.
we met Rongo? I don't think
you have.
Not in person. No, no. I think the years he did Worlds, I wasn't there. So
yeah,
there we go.
One of our members, Julian, evening. Hope you're well.
Evening all. Bron Chopped, we missed your super chat unless you're blind. I'm sorry, Bron. Let me see if I can find it. No, those. So type it again. Quick, while it's quiet. Type it again. I think we've
yeah, that's when we kind of
we've
been speaking to the organizers of the Strongman Champions League, and we just want them to give us a bit more information on events that are coming up. We know their schedule for this year now, but it'd be nice to know a little bit more where people can watch events, athletes, that type of thing.
Yeah, if they could, like, I think they need to be a bit better at social media and like building that hype and letting us all know what's happening, when it's happening, getting results out for everybody, and keep an eye out for Bron Chopped, won't you?
I will.
Okay. What would be a better story than Brian Shaw winning his 5th title at 40 years old? Though?
It would be absolutely amazing to see Brian do it.
And with the return of Martins as well.
I think Brian has a great shot this year. He was second last year. He's still a threat.
Even past
his prime. And when people kind of argue with me that he's not past his prime, go back and look at results of what he was doing around 2012 to 2016 compared to what he does now. His deadlift and his pressing are both down. His stones aren't quite as quick as they used to be. He is still an incredible strongman and still a threat, but he is past his best.
Brian knows that as well, because when you two did your Talking Strongman afterwards, you were having a bit of a chat, weren't you? And you said to him, exactly that. You said, I like sometimes say you're past your absolute best, and people get really offended. And Brian's like, but I am past my best. So Brian knows too. It's really not an insult.
The fact is, he's still that damn good.
Which shows how
good he was at his best.
It's very much intended as a compliment.
The hard thing for Brian and for Zydrunas is they both competed against each other, and they are, in my view, the best 2 strongmen ever. So you had 8 titles between 2 of the best strongmen of all time. If they didn't have each other, they'd be 6 or 7 time champions.
Yeah,
both of them.
All right, here's
maybe 8.
His Bron Chopped. There we go. I might have missed it. Could you get JF and Matej on a Talking Strongman together?
Try. We've been trying to get Matej on this week actually, but he's been busy. So we'll have to wait till we get back from the States now. We'll get him on, and we will definitely get JF on again.
Yeah.
I just like talking about strongman with JF because he is very similar to me in his thought process. And you know, we're just 2 older, honest guys that have been doing strongman a long time.
Cheltenham.
I am from Cheltenham. My mum's from Newcastle. My father's from Iran.
So Iranian heritage, which is why he tans so beautifully, don't you, Loz?
Which annoys you.
Which annoys me, because I have to get it spray painted on. Liz, would you be willing to commentate like Loz? No. Commentary is a skill, and it's one that I absolutely do not have. You guys know what I'm like. Some of the silly things I say, it wouldn't be good.
Liz couldn't commentate on ESPN, that's for sure.
God, no. They're really strict, aren't they?
I think I've got to do the commentating with Anthony Furman for ESPN. I think he's going to struggle.
With their rules, they're very strict. There's so much
having a chat with Anthony
the
other day, and he is.
They got really upset when you called Trey Mitchell a country bumpkin, didn't they? So for like, we're country bumpkins, aren't we? Where we live, it's quite rural, and we could, we don't really like the big cities and towns, and we consider ourselves. And you kind of just thinking of that, weren't you? But ESPN didn't like that. They also got really upset when Loz said chink in the armor, which obviously means a weakness. But you can't say that on ESPN. They get very, very upset.
Let's see this.
More strong women on Talking Strongman. Yeah, we've had Donna.
We have had Donna. I'd love to. We do plan on getting more of the ladies.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Victoria Long at some point as well. Who won the Arnold.
I want to speak to her, especially when it starts leading up to OSG and stuff like that. We will speak to a lot more of the ladies.
Yeah.
We had Chloe on obviously the other day.
Yeah.
I want to try and get Rhiannon on at some point.
Yeah. And then when we're at OSG, I can be out back talking to them on camera. And that's the thing. If I was commentating, where are the videos? There'd be no videos. And you all like your behind the scenes, don't you?
Yeah.
I like you doing
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I do too. Hype me up back.
Donnie Wright, thank you very much for the comment. Big Loz, have always respected you as one of the best and consistent strongmen in the sport. Your demeanor is admirable, and adding Liz to the discussions was a home run. Rock on, both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We do our best, don't you? don't you? Don't we? How's your training going for spreadsheet refreshing? Strong fingers. I've been doing my exercises. What about you, Loz?
Yeah, my fingers are always strong.
Yeah, mine aren't. My thumb is. Chip, thank you for the super chat, Chip. Which strongman competitor do you consider the best of the rest, the best who never won a major title?
Ooh. That never won a major title.
Derek Poundstone won a major title.
There's lots of amazing strongmen that didn't win worlds. I don't know any of like the best guys that never won anything.
The Arnolds or Fortissimus or worlds.
I'll tell you who.
Go on then.
Terry Hollands.
Yeah, good shout.
Terry has never won a major show.
Matej Kilizkowski.
Yeah.
Hasn't won a major.
No.
If we consider...
Yeah.
He's won a wuss.
I mean, he's won
wuss.
Yeah, he's won some big shows. He's won a lot of the Arnold shows. He's won a lot of Giants Lives.
Yeah.
He's won a lot of shows. He's just never won like the big shows. He's never won Worlds, never won Europe, never won the Arnolds.
Yeah.
But he's won Arnold qualifiers. He's won plenty of Giants Live shows. He's won wuss. There's probably a few others as well. I think Terry's one of the best that's never won
a major title. He won Masters World's Strongest Man. Yeah, no, I know. I
think even he would admit that doesn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't be considered a major, no, to be fair. The story of Brian winning would be mental. He'd be the oldest champ, the most podiums, the most finals, the most consecutive finals, and the most titles.
If Brian can do that, I think if Brian does that, he goes down as the greatest of all time.
Prime or not.
Yeah.
God, Worlds is going to be insufferable, isn't it? Don't say he's past his prime during the Worlds videos. I'll say that's what you're going to have to deal with. And I can't be dealing with you.
I will be bigging Brian up as he is one of my favorites for World's Strongest Man.
Oh, is he? It's usually me that gets accused of hating him.
Well, just very quickly, I mean, for people that, if you've seen the unofficial events for World's Strongest Man, there's no weak event in there for him.
No.
He's got great experience at Worlds, and he's training hard. His training looks good, so it just depends how good everyone else is.
JF is super happy when anyone wants to chat live about Strongman. Talking Strongman with Rauno before Worlds. Yes, let's make it happen. I'll talk to Rauno. We'll get him on. I tried to get it when Loz did the Rogue Invitational, and I couldn't travel to America because that was when it was only by certain exemptions for travel. And I was like, he was like, make videos at home about it. And I tried to do videos on my own and I just couldn't get past the intro. And I was like, Rauno, get on a video with me. And he was like, oh no, it's very late here in Estonia. You bastard. But I think planned better. I think Rauno will come on and chat.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll get Rauno on.
Yeah, definitely.
See how he's feeling before his
It's one of our old favorites.
Post. Will we ever see the return of Benedict Magnussen? No, he's back training now. He seems to like he had some time of training as well. Beauty training, yes, working on his calves and things like that, isn't he?
His rear delts. I don't think we'll see him back in. Certainly not back in Strongman. I don't even think we'll see him back in powerlifting. To be honest, he seems happy doing other stuff. And it gets hard when you've been there and done it. I mean, Benedict was the greatest deadlifter on the planet. He was just stupidly strong. But I think for guys like him, it's such a sacrifice to be that good.
Yeah.
That as you get older, he's got kids, he's got other things to think of. It's hard to push yourself through it. And I've said many times myself, I'm just not willing to push to the limits that I once did. And your body's not the same. You've kind of suffered injuries and stuff like that. Mentally, when I was young, I genuinely thought you could put a brick wall there and I could walk through it. I was stupid. But that naivety makes you good. Yeah. Because there's just this inner belief that you are that good.
And you need that
to be the best you do.
The best, yeah.
And then you see it, the guys between their 20s and 30s are absolute monsters. And then the guys just over 30, they're still good. And, you can hang on till the 40,
It depends when you start as well, though. It's not just about age, is it? It's
looking after yourself,
say you've got
injuries,
like a 10-year window of being really good.
There's not many guys that go beyond 10 years at the top.
No.
And that's another thing is how long guys have been training to get to that level as well. most guys have been training 10 years before people know about them.
Yeah.
You know, there's people that do it quicker that have incredible genetics, but I
Andy
think
Black,
a lot of people forget how long it takes to get strong, even with great genetics.
Yeah.
And now the standard is so much higher.
Yeah.
I kind of got in at the right time. I got in quite quickly because I had great genetics, but the whole pool of athletes wasn't as strong.
Yeah.
Now
The
every single athlete,
really
World's Strongest Man, is strong.
Yeah.
And then 100 guys waiting to get in are really, really strong. Someone put the video up of my, I'd say my number one protege, if you like, Jack, who's been training with me since he was 15. He's now 24 or 23 years old.
He's 23 because he's still a junior. Yeah.
He did a 400-pound log for 3 reps, cleaning from the floor, which is incredible. That is world-class log lifting. And someone said, why does he never compete? It's like, he does compete, but he's not good enough all round to be at the big
elite
shows.
Level,
you know, and he's still young, still got time, and he understands that. He knows it's not about rushing. We're trying to make sure he gets better every year the right way. So it's steady progress. And he will keep getting better, and he will get more opportunities at bigger shows. But at 23, still got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. Into, thank you for the super chat. Do you reckon the competitors who can't behind the neck jerk are going to struggle trying to push press in that awful position?
Yeah, it's going to be a big advantage if they're doing the behind the neck press jerk. Well, yeah, you know, people know
people have seen them training. Yeah,
every strongman's doing it. Like if I was one of the guys training that's new to strongman, I wouldn't, or sort of going there as their first time, I probably wouldn't even bother training it. I'd be focusing on the events for the heats to try and catch the better guys napping a little bit. But it's a very technical movement, and I know Dan Hipkiss got a lot of crap for this, but 5 weeks is not enough time to learn how to do Olympic style movements. Yeah, you can learn it just with the bar, but then loading it up to big weights, you've got a high chance of injuring yourself. So I think guys that are naturally use those type of lifts. I mean, the last time I can remember it done was when Gary Taylor won it, and Gary Taylor was an Olympic lifter, and he did 270 kilos.
Wow!
If we see anything like that this year, that would be incredible.
That would be insane. Sex spots. There were sex spots. Don't worry, guys. I have blocked the sex spots. I'm all over them. Oh, they're pesky, aren't they? They come as if from nowhere. Unchopped. Those unofficial heats events are crazy good for Evan and hilariously Felix.
Yeah, there's some good events in there for both those guys.
We cannot divulge. Oh, do thank them for the super chat at least.
Thank you very much, Bronchopped.
There you go. Well done.
Regular.
Yeah.
Member.
Yeah, and a member.
Thank you very much.
PWR coach, thank you too. Loz, what would you say is your favorite test of grip strength?
Favorite. I like the rolling thunder. I like double overhand axle deadlifts. I like any form of like a farmer's hold or a Hercules hold. I like grip. It's geeky, but I like it. I like pinch grip, hub type lifts, all sorts. I'm not really a fan of grippers. Grippers I find a bit boring, but most grip stuff I like.
Ooh, did I click on it? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. There we go. Is it tough to be a strong wife? Yes. What do you think?
I've never been a strong wife.
Come on now.
It's very hard for the ladies that are with strongmen. I think being with an athlete in general is very difficult. So I think that, you know, if you're a wife of an athlete in any sport, you could probably sympathize.
Yeah, someone who's like elite level. It's
tough.
It comes with its challenges. They have to be quite selfish.
Yeah.
And high risk of injury. Low reward a lot of the time in strongman as well. They're doing it purely for their love of it. Wow, yeah, but not at elite level for most sports. And a lot of sports, at least the wife would have the reassurance of being rich. She could sob into her money and her Prada handbags. I don't have any of that. Oh, press cat. Who do you think are the most influential strongmen?
That's a difficult one.
Wow.
Depends what way.
Thor's got the biggest following on Instagram of all the strongmen.
I mean, Thor and Eddie have both brought a lot of new fans to the sport.
Yeah.
I think Brian Shaw is very influential. I think, especially being a 4-time world's strongest man, and the way he conducts himself is very good.
I'd say those three. I'd say some of the most popular ones right now are the Strongmans.
Yes, I'd say the Strongmans are definitely up there. Just trying to think of older ones as well that were influential. I mean, Mariusz Pudzianowski brought a lot of fans to the sport.
He did.
Jeff Capes.
Yes. He was like the OG influencer, especially in the UK, because he was a household name before Strongman, wasn't he? From like the Commonwealth Games and stuff like that. Yeah. So he really brought tons of fans. Jean-Paul
Sigmarsson.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think there's lots of guys that have really helped the sport grow.
Yeah. Look, see, blocked bots. There we go. Clive did 270, not Taylor.
Taylor also did 270.
Oh, come on now.
And that was at World's Strongest Man. Was Clive did it in an exhibition.
There you go.
But Clive was amazing at, you know, if he was still competing, he'd
Anything
be looking, he'd be loving this.
Yeah. There you go. Jeremy. Training with Loz and really enjoying it. Highly recommend Loz as a coach. Also, retired Loz would still never zero a squat like some professional.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. I'm not sure about that right now. My squat is not what it used to be. But thank you very much.
Be fair.
I am absolutely fine with not being as good as I used to be. It's one of those things. And my not good as it used to be isn't good enough to compete at World's Strongest Man anymore. Brian Shaw's not good as it used to be is still good enough to potentially be a threat for the title.
Auntie Liz's max deadlift. I don't know why you guys care about stuff like this.
I think you've pulled 100 kilos before.
I have, but you never had me deadlift in training, did you? You
Not
made
really.
Me squat all the time.
Deadlifting is a great exercise if you want to be a strongman or a powerlifter, but it's not really necessary if you're just looking to get in shape.
Yeah.
It's not a movement that's, I mean, that's something like, if you've seen the Joe Rogan podcast with Robert Oberst, I totally agree with what he said. You know, deadlifting is great if you want to get strong. It's not really needed if you just, your goals are like aesthetics.
Yeah, you made me squat all the damn time though, and I did not like that. I squatted 90.
You liked how your butt looked though.
You liked how my butt looked. Liz, were you a Strongman fan before you met Loz? No, I wasn't. I wasn't into any sports. Now I like Strongman, fighting, and darts.
We're slowly converting.
Changed my life. No, that's. Oh. Is this the Jan Todd? But I'd say it's better to share your husband's interest in strength than to not understand what he's going through. Better to train yourself so he can support you too. Jan, I hope that is the real Jan Todd. Jan, send us a sign. Jan is like the OG female influencer in strength sports. And we very much enjoyed hearing some of her stories. When
Jan is brilliant.
Yeah. And guys, if you want Jan on a Talking Strongman, let her know in the comments, because she doesn't do that many interviews, but we would absolutely love for her to be on the channel.
We're gonna go see her later in the year.
Yes, Jan, we're coming to get you. Right. Do you like to watch classic Strongman comps? I'm a fan of 30 plus years now. I love to watch classic Strongman on a Sunday night. Yes.
I haven't watched so much recently, but yeah, I've got a library of every single World's Strongest Man, loads of old strongman competitions, and probably when we first got together, I made you watch.
You made me watch. Yeah, that's where it all started. You made me watch every heat and every final of World's Strongest Man ever.
And then all the other shows that were on
everything.
Eurosport, and
then
shows that were in different languages.
I feel like I've seen everything.
I am a complete strongman nerd.
The old pure strength ones were the most fun to watch. Remember what was it called? The log. What was it called? The log cut. I can't even remember what it was called now, but oh my goodness.
I've in the past particularly used to watch old strongman comps. Weirdly, I don't like watching my own competitions. I like watching pre my competitive era, and I like watching new competitions, but I find watching myself quite hard because all I do is sit there criticizing myself.
Here we go. Here's a question that I can answer. Why are the events of World's Strongest Man secret? Soon they won't be, because Worlds will do their official announcement of what the events are. The reason they don't want it leaked beforehand, which unfortunately now has already happened, is because all of the media interest in that story, what the events are, dies the second that stuff gets out and it's leaked. So then the media aren't actually interested anymore, and it really hurts what World's Strongest Man are trying to do. So that's why the leaks are quite harmful, and that's why we don't ever knowingly leak stuff like that, because we're not dicks. Right? Do you want to click on Frederick?
I just wanted to.
It is. Love you guys. Oh, I
We
love you so
Jan.
much,
Thank
Jan.
you very much. She's very supportive of us, which is so nice.
And she's just the coolest person ever.
She's like
to get
original.
a love you from.
Yeah,
she is. She's like, she's just such a. If you haven't seen, go onto the Stark Center website, because she's such a smart woman, and she's written some amazing articles about like the origins of the sport and how the Arnolds came about. It's really, really interesting reading. I would implore you all to go and read it. In fact, once this video is done, I'm going to link some of them in this video description, and you will go do your homework, people. Frederick. Okay, thank you again, Frederick, for a super chat. Okay, last comment today. Love the content and love the info you two have brought to the sport. I've been watching since the mid-90s, and now it's great. Loz, you're a great strongman, and records are always in your future.
Thank you very much, Frederick. We really appreciate the support from you guys, and being able to chat with you. You guys coming to watch our videos, it just makes it all worthwhile.
And meeting you all at events as well. It's so funny when you're like, Auntie Loz and Auntie Liz and Uncle Loz. God, even I get it wrong. It's so funny. And then people are like, oh, I feel like you should know me too. But it does feel like we know people. They come over and tell us their usernames.
We start to recognize people, and it's great.
People bringing us chocolate from Norway, which is always very welcome. Well, maybe not for you.
Well, it was welcome.
Yeah,
I just had to wait.
Chris Little, thank you so much for the super chat. Regardless of the groups for World's Strongest Man, who is your winner? I made a bold statement the other day, didn't I? I said Martins.
Yeah, Martins.
Yeah.
I still unsure. I think it will be one of three people, if I'm totally honest. I think Martins, I think Tom Stoltman, or Brian Shaw. I don't think it's the best events for Novikov.
No, I would love Alexei to win.
I would love him to win, and prove me wrong. I'd absolutely love it. But when you look at the events, I think they suit the bigger guys, and Martins a little bit more.
What about a couple of the outsiders like Maxime or Trey?
I think they're all going to be dangerous, and we'll kind of, once we know groups and a bit more specifics on events, I'll look even deeper into it.
Yeah.
But having a very quick look at what's been said, I think Tom could repeat. I think Brian has a chance, and I think Martins is just so bloody good that you can never count him out.
He's just so consistent. Everyone should watch Pure Strength 1989. They absolutely should. And hopefully it's still on YouTube. I know one of the great strongman channels was taken down, but that might still be up. So definitely, if you've got time, watch it. What else did they do in that competition? Was that the one? Oh God, that was the one, wasn't it? With the barrel. Oh God.
Less said about that.
Yeah. We won't talk about that, just in case you never know who's watching.
What's this?
What am I looking at? This one?
Women Who Lift.
Hi guys, wondering, would Liz like to do a podcast of me talking all things strong and being a strong wife? Or possibly Women Who Lift, as long as I'm not expected to lift to go on to the channel. But slide into my DMs on Instagram. We've got a really busy week now, haven't we? We're away for pretty much all of it. So
9 or 10 days for me.
Yeah, because you've got a modeling shoot. Loz is a plus size model, if you didn't know. Big coat for you. Bless him. But yeah, message me, and if we can make it work, we will. MG Beardy, thank you for the super chat. Hey guys, love the content on my second run of the Warrior program from the site. I was wondering, with travel, what do you do about missed sessions?
I don't stress about it. Like, sometimes you can't avoid it. I mean, I try and train when I'm away, but I might adapt things. Occasionally I'll merge sessions. So for instance, if I was meant to be pressing and squatting in 2 separate sessions, I might press and squat in the same session and back off some of the assistance work that I might normally do. But quite honestly, I just don't stress these days. Getting worked up because you're missing a session is worse than just missing the session. If you just kind of miss one session, it's not the end of the world. If you miss consistent sessions, then obviously it's going to have an impact on your progress. But sometimes, like I said, I'll either, I normally train 4 days a week. if I can only get in 2, I might combine 2 sessions together. So I might squat and bench on one day and deadlift and press on one day, for instance.
Yeah.
But
Squeeze it in.
I'm not trying to be pro. Like if I was training for World's Strongest Man, I wouldn't miss a session. It would just be as simple as that. That would be my priority, but that's no longer my priority. So I don't stress too much.
Quick one from Victor. Will Big Z ever be back at Worlds again? I don't think he will now.
I don't think so either, but that's for Zadrunas to answer, not for me.
I think
he's still like with Brian. I think he's way past his best now, but he's still very good.
Yeah, Z will just do what he wants to do, won't he?
He's happy.
One of those,
if he enjoys it, it's up to him at the end of the day.
Frederick's back. Oh shit! One last comment. I wonder if you two have ever tried a Cornish pasty. If not, I will bring some to an event. Frederick, Cornish pasties. We're in the southwest of England. It's big business here, man. They're from Cornwall, and we're just a couple of counties over in Wiltshire.
Yes,
we have many Cornish pasties, and
not so many recently, but
but I don't want to discourage you. I will try your Cornish pasty.
When we went to Jamaica, we had the
all
Jamaican
the patties.
They were
nice, like spicy chicken and beef patties.
Yeah, they were good.
All right, so don't worry, guys. I have COVID tested him. He's fine.
I'm okay. Just a little bit run down.
Oh,
right.
What's this?
Oh,
hold on. World's Strongest Man. Strangest Man. Elbow cough. Tee. Lone Gunman. Thank you for the super chat. If it wasn't for JF's injury, would he be a top contender for World's Strongest Man?
Pretty much been top 5 at World's Strongest Man for the last 6 years, something like that. Yes, he'd be a contender. He's always there or thereabouts.
Yeah, look, everyone in the UK has had a Cornish pasty. Yeah, to be fair, we have.
Yeah,
we like our Scotch eggs, and Scotch eggs were serious chat the other year, weren't they? Do they constitute a substantial meal? It was all this lockdown thing. If you know, you know, right? Harriet Evers, thank you for the super chat. Will more strongmen open up about the extra supplements like Obes did?
We spoke about this earlier.
Yeah,
and it's hard for a lot of people to talk about because they are risking losing sponsors and other things. But it is something that I think does need to be spoken about because there's a lot of people taking the wrong advice and doing stuff that they really shouldn't be doing. So I hope more people are honest about it. I am absolutely open and honest with all of my clients. So people that, pay for my coaching and stuff like that, they get full honesty. I don't try and hide things, but obviously you have to understand these, when you've got sponsors and stuff like that, and you're trying to represent companies, you can't just openly always talk about things.
Scotch eggs are the best.
Nice.
Change. Yeah. There we go. Shall we wrap up then?
We have to be up at the
crack of dawn to take the kids to Alton Towers for 2 days. And then what's happening? Then the following morning at the crack of dawn, we have to drive to Heathrow. God, we have to have COVID tests at the airport.
We just had a COVID test today.
Yeah. And hopefully we won't catch it at Alton Towers. I'm sure we'll be fine. But yes, so we will bid you all 1 hour and 47 minutes.
Yeah, we were like, we'll just do an hour.
Yeah.
But it's always great chatting to you guys. And leading up to Worlds, we're going to have lots of lives with you. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, we are. Yes,
busy few days. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So if anyone's at Alton Towers this weekend, give us a wave.
Yeah. So weekend's over. Tomorrow and Tuesday. Yeah.
There we go. It's bank holiday weekend though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right, guys. Cool. Enjoy the rest of your Easter. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll catch you guys soon. Take care.
Bye. Do the wave. Smile and wave. Find the button. Keep waving. It's not over yet.